What's up everyone, it's Adam. Welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Voyager 5220 by Plantronics. Now this is something you can only get at Best Buy, this particular model. My assumption is with the Voyager 5210 it probably is the same thing. But Best Buy, for some reason, when you buy a product from there, has this idea of changing the name or maybe doing slight changes to the packaging. And that's usually all I can find when it comes to any differences. So I am pretty sure it's safe to say they are the same headset, but just so you know, this is the only one that you can get at Best Buy, is specifically the 5220. And I am pretty sure it's got to be a big update from the Plantronics Voyager, the original one. I remember wanting to get that one when it first was released, but the microphone sounded horrible. And I really want to compare this to the Jabra Talk 45, because that till this day has been my favorite mono Bluetooth headset I've ever had in this form factor, but this one has a boom arm. So enough said, let's see how the microphone sounds. That's the first thing I want to do, is do a real life coffee shop test. I'll do it inside the coffee shop, and since it's nice enough, I'll sit outside. Hopefully I can find one near a busy street. I am that dedicated for the mic test. And then besides that, obviously a blender test and then a quiet office test. So let's get straight into that. All right, so testing the Voyager 5220 in a coffee shop right now. It's pretty loud in here, so about 12, maybe 13 people in here. Espresso machines going off. I'm sitting by the door and people are walking in and out right now. So test 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're doing a microphone test in my quiet office. Nothing going on, no noise at all. Just purely quiet. So test 1, 2, 3. Fun fact, I actually am blending a smoothie right now. So to kind of be fair, I'm gonna stand maybe 2 feet away from the blender. So test 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm having it run right now. It's really, really loud. It's a NutriBullet. So test 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna be quiet for just a second. Alrighty, let me turn it off. Now I turned it off. Let's see how it did. All right, what do I think about the microphone test compared to, let's say, the Jabra Talk 45 with this thing? Well, I would say that the Talk 45 makes my voice sound better, but as far as total noise cancellation, it has to go to the 5220. And I feel bad because every time I find a product better than something I've been using for a while, I feel like I have to retire that product now, but it's just the truth. My voice sounds better with the Talk 45. This sounds way too artificial, but dang, I gotta give it to the 5220. It blocked out more noise. Now let's go over other features and the specs of this headset to see what else it has to offer. So 7 hours of talk time, 9 days of standby, 98 feet of range. It only weighs 20 grams. And I would say my favorite thing about it is the multi-point technology. It does have a dedicated button for smartphone voice control, whether it's Cortana, Siri, or Google Now. And an auto mute reminder if you do hit that mute button. And it has 4 mics and WinSmart technology, so hopefully my microphone test really demonstrated that. And then of course the HD voice clarity. In the box it does have the micro USB charging port, but you will have to buy that stand that you see advertised everywhere where it's standing in its little charging case and this and that. I wish so bad it came with it. I would have paid extra if it came with it. It would have made it a little bit easier, and it looks really cool if that was on your desk, instead of having to carry a cable around everywhere you go. Imagine being at Starbucks and, ooh, got a little fancy headset with a charging deck, and but you know what I mean? Now that things are opening up and whatnot, it just, for me personally, it would be kind of cool, but whatever, that's just me. So other things about this headset, I would say, when it comes to the comfortability of it, it is comfortable with one major flaw, and that's if you wear glasses. And I'll even show you right here. Just to put it on with wearing glasses, I mean, look how much I'm struggling with it. And that's even when I adjust my frames and try to take them off and then put them back on. It will not, I mean, you would really have to stretch out your glasses. And unfortunately, if you stretch out your glasses, you're going to, you're going to look crooked. It's going to look like that. I mean, even me trying to talk and have this thing on is obviously really complicated, but I'm doing it on purpose, not to have a perfect video, but to really show you it is a struggle if you wear glasses. I mean, does it look bad at the end of the day? Is it still pretty discreet? I mean, I think so. It looks pretty cool still, but it just doesn't fit all the way in your ear canal, and that's going to have some issues when it comes to the volume. And you can wear it on either side of your head, so you can lift up the boom arm, twist it, and then flip it back down so I can put it on my left ear as well. But the only issue again is when I was in loud coffee shops and when I was testing this out, is I had to have the volume at about 70 to 80, sometimes even higher, like all the way maxed, just because it's not all the way in my ear canal, even though I have the right ear tip. So that's one major flaw, but I mean, if I were to take off my glasses and then put it on and then put it in my ear canal all the way, it works great. So that's just kind of hit or miss. You know, I don't know if you are able to work without your glasses, but you may find yourself doing that more often than you probably want to. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But for me, I was really thinking about a pro with this. And I would say the pro that compensates for that con of how it fits is the volume buttons, because most headsets like this, most mono single earpiece Bluetooth headsets, they don't have volume buttons. They're discreet enough to fit on your head and they sound good, but they don't have any volume buttons. And I started thinking, okay, that was one of my favorite things given that I am in real estate, but I was trying to think of examples of this being a mobile device, not stationary, even though you can connect it to your computer and things like that. But going in and out of coffee shops, going to look at houses, and thinking about, okay, what if you're a contractor, you work in a warehouse or a factory, or you're a delivery driver? You're constantly going through different changes of volume every single day. So it is nice to know it has volume buttons so you don't have to depend on your phone, especially if you're moving in and out of the office even. So I will say, even though that's a con, it did make it up for the volume buttons. Or I should say, the volume buttons made up for the con of it fitting a little bit weird with glasses. All right, now let's go over the buttons and functionality of this headset on the hardware. So volume up, volume down. You have your mute button. You have your dedicated voice assistant. So this will activate Cortana if it's Windows, and even if you have a Surface phone. I don't have one of those, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Obviously, it's going to be Siri for your MacBook and your iPhones. And hold it down for 2 seconds for your Bluetooth connectivity. And that includes resetting your devices and clearing the list. And then you have your micro USB port right here, power on, power off. And that's it, besides the fact that if you lift the boom arm and twist it, that's how you can wear it on either side. Now let's get into the battery life. So 7 hours of battery life, the best way I can put it, even though I didn't test it 100% or anything like that, but I'm on the phone 8+ hours a day. So for me, if I could be on and off on the phone and listening to stuff in between 8+ hours a day and still not have to charge this, then I think they're pretty accurate with 7 hours, but it may even be more than that. So I don't think you'll unless you're on the phone straight for 7 hours, I don't think you should have a problem. I didn't have a problem. Battery life is really good. Now, as far as the wireless range, I live in a 1,200 square foot house and my office is on one side. I go into my backyard frequently, even while I'm on calls, to get some fresh air, to just go outside and stand around while I'm talking on the phone. And I had no connectivity issues. Now, if I start going into the grass and, veering further from that, from right outside the sliding door going into my backyard from the kitchen, well then yeah, it starts to break up for sure, but at least I know that my limitation's there and it works fine. All right, let's go over the app real quick, and all I gotta say is there's nothing to show here. I mean, yeah, find my headset, and when you go to settings, you have very minor things. I mean, stuff that, in my opinion, I don't care about. It already is activated with this headset, whether you have any of these enabled or not. I mean, unless you want to turn them off, but yeah, really not much here. All right, now let's get into multi-point connectivity with this. And I'm gonna go over an example with what I did, and that's connecting it to my MacBook and my iPhone. So I'm pretty sure this works with any device the same way, whether it's Windows and Android or vice versa, or however you wanna mix and match. So when it comes to connecting it for the first time, you turn it on, you connect to your phone, but you have to hold this voice assistant button behind the boom arm. You have to hold that for 2 seconds and then connect to your laptop, let's say. And then when you connect to your laptop, do it one more time, hold for 2 seconds, reconnect to your phone, and boom, you're connected to both devices. And how did it work? It worked pretty dang seamless, to where streaming media from both devices, I had a YouTube video on both of them, and I would play on one device while it's paused in the other, of course, and it took only maybe 2 seconds to realize, okay, taking priority over the phone now. And then I would pause that video, play it on my computer. All right, wait a couple of seconds. Okay, we're taking priority with the computer. The only difference with that delay is if a phone call comes in, especially with your phone. It's for sure going to take precedence over that more than anything. It's going to take priority over using your phone more than your computer. If you are using a soft phone or VoIP, it's a little bit longer of a delay. It's again maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but for me that's not bad, especially with a device like this. I think it works great. All right, so the Voyager 5220 for $119. What do I think about this headset at the end of the day? Well, obviously, if it's not obvious, I think it's absolutely worth that price. And you can only get it at Best Buy. I wish Best Buy was sponsoring this, but hey, it's where I found it, it's where I bought it. That's what it is. So for me, I think it's definitely worth $119, especially if you're a mobile worker. We're talking contractors, realtors, attorneys, or if you're just like to move around a lot, or even if you go to coffee shops and you're like, hey, I don't want a goofy looking wired headset that's all intrusive and all big. I like to stay low key, but I need to sound professional. And for sure, if you're somebody that wears AirPods Pro and things like that in a coffee shop, or using like Sony true wireless earbuds, like don't do that. I'm telling you, get a professional sounding headset, block out all that background noise. If you like to work in coffee shops, regardless if you're on the phone a lot or just need to be on a conference call on your computer in a different setting, whether it's outside or wherever it is, it's definitely worth it. I love this thing. I would say it's just a tad bit better than the Talk 45, as much as that hurts to say that, given that thing has held me down in my real estate career for a long time. So anyhow, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see y'all on the next one.